seen him. Usyk was a hell of a fighter, a gold medalist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but he was behind the scenes. Two guys with a crazy amateur backgrounds, and one guy is not being seen, and another guy is being seen. Then we call it an upset. No, it's just that he was working behind the scenes, and another guy who was working in front of everyone.
Why did Daniel Dubois push you yesterday? Do you know why? He gave you a push?
I don't know. Maybe Daniel afraid me. I don't know. It just show for me.
Daniel Dubois, he challenged Usyk in the ring after the fight.
These guys are begging now for the payday because they know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them.
No.
Alexander Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division.
Floyd Mayweather was recently asked about the upcoming Usyk versus Dubois rematch, and his comments quickly stirred up discussion. While he didn't give a direct prediction, the way he spoke made it sound like he was leaning toward Usyk. Floyd praised Usyk, calling him a tremendous fighter and reminding everyone that he's an Olympic gold medalist. He explained that some fighters prefer to stay out of the spotlight and put in the hard work quietly, while others live in front of the cameras. According to Floyd, when those two types of fighters meet, the result isn't an upset. It's simply proof of the work that was done behind the scenes. Even though Floyd never came out and said it outright, fans believe his words showed respect and support for Usyk's skills and dedication. Now, many are wondering if Mayweather just gave away which side he's really on in this highly anticipated rematch.
Fighting Usyk again, it's a tough fight. That Usyk guy is talented. He's so talented. He's so small for a heavyweight too. He's non-stop movement and his footwork and everything. It's so different than anybody else. Joshua didn't know what to do with him. He's like, where is this guy going to be when I'm throwing punches? He's a heavyweight. And the heavyweights were never really that good in terms of that kind of technique. It's like you need it at like middleweight and light heavyweight because everyone's super talented and technical. Lomachenko and Usyk were trained by the same guy. They were both trained by Lomachenko's father. So they both have extreme technique.
While Floyd's comments got people talking, another well-known boxing voice, Ade Oladipo, also shared his thoughts on the Usyk versus Dubois rematch. His take, however, comes from a different angle. Ade has been steady in his opinion from the very beginning. He believes Usyk will win again. In his eyes, Usyk's skill, experience, and overall ring IQ still set him apart and make him the clear favorite. That said, Ade also admits this rematch feels much tighter than their first meeting, suggesting Dubois has closed some of the gap.
I've always said that Alexander Usyk will win. And I'm not going to change my mind. Trust me, Alexander Usyk, for me, is a massive favorite to win. But that massive favorite tag has got shorter and shorter and shorter as we get closer to the fight. Like when this fight was initially announced, I'm like, Alexander Usyk. Okay, so when they fought in Poland, and you guys know this, I said I gave Daniel Dubois 0% chance. No joke, zero, no chance. When this fight was announced, what was it announced? 2 months ago, 3 months ago? I said, okay, I give Daniel Dubois a 20% chance. Now, I give Daniel Dubois a 35% chance.
Ade went a step further by explaining why he thinks Dubois could be more dangerous this time around. In his view, Dubois is in the best shape of his career, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. From what Ade has seen behind the scenes, Dubois is sharper and more focused than ever. He also stressed the age factor. According to Ade, Usyk is no longer in his prime, and that makes a difference. No matter how disciplined or skilled a fighter is, staying at your absolute peak becomes harder with age. And for Ade, that's a key reason why this rematch could be closer than most expect.
I've watched him spar. I've seen some behind the scenes stuff. I've peeked behind the curtain, if you like. And he is in incredible shape. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Like this is the best version of Daniel Dubois there's ever been. This simply isn't the best version of Alexander Usyk. It can't be. It isn't. Go and argue with yourself. It's not. You can't be the best version of yourself at 38. No matter how you live the life. I don't care if you are a nun. I don't care if you've never taken a drop of alcohol. I don't care if you've never had a tough fight in your life. 38 is 38 against a 26, 27-year-old that's in his peak. So, That's the only thing here against Usyk. That's the only 35% thing here against Usyk is the age. That's it. If Usyk was 32...
That's why Ade is giving Dubois a much better chance in this rematch. Before their first fight, he hardly gave Dubois any hope. But now, his view has shifted. He believes Dubois has the tools to create real problems for Usyk. In fact, Ade even suggested that if Dubois lands clean, he just might be able to hurt Usyk.
Giving Daniel Dubois a chance. But the fact he's 38, the fact he has had tough fights against Tyson Fury, the fact that Daniel Dubois has fought him, so that fear now of fighting Usyk is gone. Like the Usyk must have that over fighters where you step into the ring with him and there is this, shit, this is going to be fucking tough. I don't think Daniel has that. Honestly, I don't think he has that. I think he's almost, and I hope he doesn't find this disrespectful, he's like a dog on the leash just waiting to attack. It's almost like you're holding him back, and then he just goes. So I think he's like I can't see Daniel not catching Usyk. And if he catches Usyk, could hurt him. Where also...
Still, Ade isn't blind to the other side of the matchup. He admits Usyk has the ability to outbox Dubois again, and maybe even stop him in the later rounds. But the way Ade frames it, this fight isn't nearly as one-sided as many assume. That's why his prediction has people paying attention. He's sticking with Usyk as his pick, but this time, his confidence is much lower than before.
Point I'm making here is that in the first Dubois-Usyk fight, I favored Usyk heavily, but in this fight, I think it's super close. Like, I'm giving Dubois more chance in the second fight than I think I gave AJ and Fury. Does that make any sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So that
shared his thoughts on the Usyk versus Dubois rematch, and he believes it will be far more competitive than their first encounter. In his view, Daniel has a stronger chance this time around. Shane reminded fans that aside from landing one solid shot in their first fight, Dubois struggled while Usyk controlled most of the rounds with smart boxing and steady pressure. But Shane also raised a different concern: Usyk's decision to part ways with his longtime promoter right before such an important fight. He questioned whether there might be more to that split, and if it could affect Usyk's focus heading into the rematch.
I think Daniel's got a better chance than he did the last time. I don't think he won many rounds apart from that cracking shot that was borderline potentially low. And that's going to be a talking point for years and years to come. So, whether he can find that shot again, obviously they're hopeful. I just think if you take that shot away, the majority of the fight was won by Usyk and his boxing IQ and his pressure and his intelligent pressure. I don't like the fact that Usyk's fallen out with his longtime promoter and friend. I think that's an alarming thing to do this close to a fight like that.